Okay, let's have a look at writing copy now. So when we do search advertising, we usually provide the search engines with copy. So search ad copy is the text that displays as the search result. So remember, when we're doing paid search, we're actually paying for the search engines to display these types of ads, right? So to do those ads, the search engines obviously need the text that we want to display. All right, we want to try and make it look like the search engine results, so it's within the same format, and then it looks like an organic search, so more people are more likely to click through on it, right? Now, I've got an example here of a digital marketing agency. So you can't see the top of my screen here, but if I search for digital marketing agency, they've come up with a few elements of the copy. So it's got number 1 digital marketing agency, award digital agency, and then they've got this copy here, which is sort of explaining what they do. Now, there are no images in the copy, and it looks like a search result. So this is a real research result, and this is a paid one, and you can see they look roughly similar. Right, that's kind of the idea of it. Now let's have a look at the different elements of writing copy then. So paid search only has 5 elements. We have the final URL, the headlines, the display path, the descriptions, and ad extensions. Now marketers, we provide this copy, and then Google will actually determine the layout, how it all fits, right? So let's look at these ones. So the final URL, I've got this here, so that's like https www. So that's the final unique resource locator, the web address where they're going to end up. So if I click on this one here, I'm going to end up at that web location. Now, we're going to look at display path and the difference between that in a sec, but what you see here, this is actually the display path, but the final URL is where you'll end up if you click that. So I'm assuming that if I click this smithbrothersmedia.com.au/marketing digital agency, I'm going to end up at that URL. Number 2 are the headlines, and these are the big blue letters here, so digital marketing agency, and you actually get different numbers of headlines, so you can have a few of them in here. Digital Marketing Australia might be one headline, award-winning digital agency might be another one, and then Google combines them together. But basically these are the headlines. Now the display path, number 3, so it looks like number 1, but this is what you see when you click on it. So if I might see click media, but when I actually click on it, I end up on a landing page, like the final URL, which will have all those funny letters and numbers behind it, like because it's been generated. When we talked about landing pages, we can customize our landing pages so they generate specific landing pages. Sometimes it's actually produced by the server based on the preferences of our cookies and stuff like that. So there's usually a URL that's generated by the server side of the website to customize the user experience for the people clicking on that link. All right. But that's getting a little bit technical. Basically, the display path is what we're going to see before we click on it. Number 4 is the description. So this is the words in the middle. So leverage our extensive partnership network to land an industry placement, blah, blah, blah. This is actually a business degree one, a competitor review TAS, I guess. I don't really know them. So they're just describing what their ad is. And then the last one's 5, which is ad extensions. And here we've got to see like deal. So none of these ones have a deal in there. So this is deal, 100% off full marketing audit, all right? And that's an ad extension. We're going to look at some other ones now. So Google ad extensions are additional pieces of information that you can add to your advertisement, right? Now the extent beyond what can be included in the main copy ad, and it can actually help your ads to stand out. So this, you do your standard stuff, but then you can do extensions like extra stuff on top of that. Now they're provided to the search engine, but the digital marketer doesn't have any control of them. And by that I mean control of how they're going to be displayed on the search engine results page, right? So we control what we send to Google, so we can choose what they're going to look like, but we don't have any control of how they finally appear. Like we just give the information, and then Google mishmashes it together and makes it look the way that they think is best. So Google determines what they are shown and what extensions are shown. So we've got an example here. So this is like a regular one. Top 10 car insurances. They've got no ad extensions on there that I can see. Maybe that quote might be one. But in here they've got lots of them. So they've got the get a quote. So yeah, this has got the big drop down part there. So it's got the normal ad, and it's got and 75 years. So these are actual extensions which are adding to the regular type of ad. And this bit here has got the ad extensions are full coverage, find insurance discounts. So these, I'm not sure, I can't remember, but I think these click to different parts of the website too. So that's another form of extension on there. So obviously these two advertisers, Google's determined we're going to show more ad extensions to these advertisements than these two here. And it's probably got to do with pricing and a whole heap of other things. Right, so let's look at asset-based extensions. So extensions are often changing and updating. So I'm going to be teaching you this now, so it's not so much about what they are, and that's how they're going to be forever. It's not so much about the theory or the concepts. I want you to think about that this is a thing and how it works at the moment, right? It's going to change in the future. We know that because it's constantly changing. But this is how it is at the moment. So call, which is basically, on your, so I'm going to go back a page here, they'll just have a thing saying, phone this number, call this number, right? So that's as simple as that. A call out, which is, we're going to go back a page again, which is like these things here, call outs. They actually, call out a separate thing, like make it bigger. A hotel call out, which is specific to hotels, like book rates or room availability and stuff like that. A lead form, so sometimes in your search engine optimization, search engine results page, it actually comes up with a form that you can fill out. We don't really see it very common because it's not very successful, I believe. I haven't really tried with it, but I can imagine why it wouldn't be. A mobile app, you've probably seen that when you search for something and it goes install the app, click here. Price, promotion, site link, structured snippets. So snippets are sort of answers to questions or little snippets of information. Used to be a really big thing in Google, and you still see them. Like if you search a question, Google will provide a snippet of the answer, and then you can click on that to find more. So and it used to be not many people would provide Google. Like Google would say, provide us with snippets, and a lot of people go, oh yeah, I'll get to it later. I didn't do it. But the people that did, obviously Google's going to favour them because Google's trying to promote this or try out this snippets thing. They go, well, when people search in search engines, they're not particularly wanting to read lots and lots of words. They just want a little snippet, of trying to work out what the most important part is. So the businesses that provide that got prioritised by Google, which makes sense, right? So shopping ads, this is a good one. Shopping ads display product images and pricing rather than normal copy. So what you'd normally see on a website would just be the words. This one, if you're searching for Nike Jordans, you're probably looking to purchase them. So Google will go, well, hang on, this is a shopping related one. So even though you're on the all tab and not the shopping tab, really it's just bringing up a snippet, or I shouldn't say snippet, really like a preview of what the shopping tab will look like. So these ads are suitable for retailers to promote their online products, and they're more eye-catching and designed for shopping-related searches. So Google determines whether it's shopping-related or not. And you can see here, the price. You get Nike Jordans here. Click on that, bang. You just want to click on it. It's designed. It's been tested. They've been, through their analysis and their research, they've worked out, what are people most likely to click on? What do they want to click on? What works well? So this works well. And this example is from WordStream. All right, so let's look at remarketing. So this is quite a popular thing. You've probably heard about this a lot, even if you don't know, familiar with the term. But when people go, I went to a website and now I keep getting their ads all the time. So remarketing allows digital marketers to create ad campaigns for previous visitors to the site. And you know about cookies and how that works now. So if someone's gone to the site and you go, well, hang on, they're obviously, there's a reason why they went to that site. How much of the interact, you can set that in the remarketing stuff, like how much engagement or what the conversions are. But if they've been to your site, obviously that's for a reason, because they have some kind of interest. These visitors have already interacted with the business to some degree. So remarketing improves the probability of improving conversion rates. Now to do this, it requires a minimum for us from our website to have at least 1,000 visitors, and that's so that people can't be identified. So if it's over 1,000, you can't reverse engineer it to work out who that person was that was actually visiting your site. So we don't, people get freaked out by remarketing and go, oh, hang on, they're stalking me, they know who we are, blah, blah. As marketers, we don't actually know who these people are. We just know that they've visited our site and that have shown some kind of interest, and we might have a record of their conversions. So digital marketers need to be familiar with the website's code or to use a developer. And that's kind of why I'm trying to get you to understand the back end of websites and how coding works. Not so that you code your own website so you can do this yourself, but when you're interacting with web developers or IT specialists, you can understand basic, might be able to do what they do, but you understand what they're doing, all right? So a lot of this is, the intersection of computing science and digital marketing. All right, effective copy. Now, we're going to look at, so writing effective copy for digital marketing should include 3 things for each ad. And this is important because people sometimes just think, oh, I want to get my name out there. And we've talked about backlinks and important for off-site search engine optimization and stuff like that. They go, oh, well, write lots of copy. It's not that way. It needs to be effective. So think of your keywords, and this is a similar exercise to what we do with search engine optimization when we work out our keywords. For AdWords, it's a similar exercise. The difference is for keywords, we're doing it organically. For AdWords, we're actually paying for it, right? So there are some differences there because you might get advantages through paying for AdWords that you won't get through just organic search engine optimization. But you need to know what the words are. So that's the same concept. Now you have a UVP, a unique value proposition. This goes back, you should know this by now, back to our principles of marketing, where we go segment the market, select the most profitable segments to target, and then position them, right? So what's your unique value proposition? How do you want your target market to think of you relative to competitors? So what makes you different? Differentiation, unique, and value proposition. What are you offering that's good for them? And then, of course, last of all, a clear call to action. So you're saying, this is what we're offering, this is what we are, this is our offering, and this is what we want you to do in response. Right, that's it. Now we're going to look at actually purchasing, buying ad space.